Hey everybody, welcome to our 8th session of the Baali Chronicles. Welcome to another night of fun and or suffering from the players. Now, tonight we are missing Lemont again, and we all know that means it's adventure time with Preston and Sullavin. And we'll see what they get into. I have some ideas. I think it's going to be interesting. I know some of the things they want to see to. We'll see if they actually get any of that accomplished. Who knows? Since our last session, where we ended with Preston nearly getting killed by Narissa Blackwater and saved by an unlikely benefactor, it has been roughly 2 to 3 weeks. We were in the middle of February, towards the end of February with the last session. We're picking up now middle of March. It is Friday, March 12th, 2021 at this point in time. Well, thank you, Chris. They will utilize those, I'm more than sure, tonight. But it's been 2 or 3 weeks since Preston, got severely hurt. He's managed to heal up. He's managed to restore his undead flesh. And it's been a long, painful process, though. But in that meantime, he has also been taking some tutelage in the Akkadian script by Sullavin. So he can now speak and understand the language as well. Slowly but surely, they will all learn this. So they don't have to worry about speaking mysterious words and phrases aloud. Probably a good thing. That being said, you guys know that your mentor, Quincy Black, has come to the city. He was actually around for a couple of days here and there. Really, for Preston, those were days that were filled with a lot of pain and a lot of just trying to focus on healing yourself. So they are kind of a blur to you. For Sullavin, during this time, Quincy pretty much laid down a ward versus spirits around the well of sacrifice to try to keep Vanathra out. Now, it has been at least a week since that occurred, and in that time, Vanathra has not been back to the house. So there's a correlation there, perhaps. Now, Lemont is gone because he has left with Quincy for a couple of nights to go pick up some materials for the rest of the nest so he can start teaching you guys how to perform some new rituals and some blood magic. So essentially, Lemont's kind of with him as kind of like an assistant to gather the proper things he's going to need to teach you guys further the mysteries of the blood, essentially. So, as the sun starts to set and you all start to slowly wake up from your death-like sleep, I need those beautiful rouse checks that we all know and love. And Preston, I know. You're already planning on failing. Sullavin, okay.
Holy shit.
You made it and I didn't.
So Sullavin,
how about them apples?
Fails his rouse check, and Preston wins in his. When Preston awakens, you don't feel any more hungry than you went to sleep the night before, or as the day encroached, I should say. And it's kind of nice because when you wake up, you don't wake up to dead animals again on you. So for once you wake up, there's nothing dead on your lap or on your body. They are alive. There are probably about a good 8 or 9 rats around your sleeping area. Now, when you start to sit up, as your senses slowly start to fade back into your awareness, you sit up on your bed and you feel like chittering under your skin. And you will see a couple of, we'll just put them as crawlies, some beetle-like insects crawl their way out of your flesh and leave little bloody, like little footprints on your bedspread as they walk away from you. Now, you don't have any wounds on you from their exit, but it did feel really, really weird. For Sullavin, it is. For Sullavin, when you wake up, the first thing that hits you is more hunger. Your beast is hungrier than it was when you went to the day sleep. It's gnawing in the back of your mind. It's not overly potent. It's just usually waking up is not what does you in. It's not what makes you hungrier. But tonight, it is. It is. But you're at that 2 hunger. Preston still does 1. You guys get up. Lamont's gone. He's been gone for a night or so. He's off with Quincy. What do you guys do?
What day of the week is it again?
It's Friday.
Friday, right?
Friday. Okay.
I'm gonna do my normal morning clean dress and wait for Preston, I guess.
I will pull the sheets off of the bed that now have bloody insect footprints on there. It's a little unnerving. I don't really care about the blood, but the fact that they crawled out of me and left marks kind of bothers me. I'm going to pull those for the wash. Just, you never know when you might need to prefer to have a clean bed. And then other than that, I will clean myself up, get dressed, and head out and look for Sullivan.
Okay. You guys will meet up after you've gotten clothed and washed for the evening. It's relatively quiet. Mind you, it's still kind of cold in the warehouse loft because it's still technically winter. Spring has not yet come. Neither has false spring yet. So it's still probably, I'd say, 20 or 30 degrees outside at best.
All right. Well, I'll be dressed warmly then.
Yep.
Well, Sullivan, it's Friday night. What do you think? Should we try and find the party?
I'm feeling dangerous. Let's go find the party.
All right. Let's see. Who can we call?
When you pick up your cell phone and start flipping through your contacts list, you realize you've got a text message.
Oh. All right.
When you click on it, it's from a burner phone, but you know what phone it is. It's a phone that you and you guys in your contact in the Tremere clan use to just text message like an emoji to let you know either side know there's a drop at your dead drop location.
Oh. Hey, it looks like we have a drop.
Oh, all right. Well, then we'll start there, I guess.
See where the night takes us from there.
Yep.
We'll pile into the newly repaired van.
The Baali
Yes.
Mobile.
You guys have managed to spend some of the money you got from Jason Newberry to repair the SUV. It has now actually been buffed out. The body looks smooth. No longer is there a hand/rock imprint on the wheel well. That's been taken care of. And also where you got hit on the driver's side, that's been taken care of as well. So it's looking nice. I mean, it's not a Lexus, but it's a nice SUV now. But you guys hop on in. It kicks over just fine. And you guys head to Lower Wacker to the drop point.
Yep.
All right. So you guys take the ride down south, hit Lakeshore, pull off on the Wacker, get down to that side of the road where you've got that false part of the column. You pull off the side of the road, park there. There's a little bit of moderate traffic. It's a Friday night, so there's still people moving around, especially to kind of get to and from places in the city, leaving from downtown and going to other places, or heading downtown to do whatever it is that people do downtown on the weekend after hours, which isn't much in the loop, especially. So you get to the side. Who's going for the drop itself?
Well, I'll probably drop Preston off, I would
Yeah.
assume, unless I'm parking and we both go. Doesn't bother me either way.
Well, last time you guys came down here with Lemont, there is a space you can pull off to the side of the road for some of the construction that's going on the Riverwalk there. So there's a place to park the car. It's like maybe 30 or 40 feet from the pillar.
Yeah.
Up to you. If you want to keep the car running and I'll run, that's cool. Or if you want to just both go.
Sure.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, no, I'll just pull off this side in that little kind of off area, and I'll let Preston out.
Okay. So Preston will hop out, and you'll make your way towards that column, and you'll feel the space. The space. There you go. You'll feel the space on the back end of the column away from the road that's between it and like that chain link fence with that green tarp over it. You feel that little loose portion, push it in, you hear the click, and inside you can see a small little envelope.
I'll take out the envelope, turn it over in my hand a couple times, kind of get a feel of what might be in it.
The last time you guys picked up an envelope, it was a manila envelope that was down here. This is like a letter. It's like a normal letter-sized envelope.
All right. I'll pop it open and take a look.
Inside, there's just a handwritten note that says, "Meet me here," and you'll see like a little map hand drawn of Lower Wacker Drive that goes a little further deeper underneath the city at 11 p.m. And you'll see the date scratched in there is 3/12/21.
All right. And what time is it now?
It's like maybe 8.
Oh, so we got a while. Okay.
Yeah, you guys got a couple hours.
Cool. I'll head back to Sullivan.
When he gets in, we'll take off right away and just start basically aimlessly driving until we figure out what the next step is.
So you just start cruising essentially.
So we've got a couple hours, but we got to be back. It's a crudely hand drawn map. I don't know what the scale is on it, but I assume we'll figure it out when we get there. But 11 o'clock tonight, we're supposed to meet them. So we've got a couple hours to kill.
Well, which means they might have some pretty important shit that they didn't want to leave in a letter. Or it's a setup, you know.
Either way.
So you have hit up the drop point, cruising a bit around the area. What do you
So we got about 3 hours. How do we want to proceed?
Well,
I mean, I could always eat if that's what you were asking, but I don't have to.
right on. I have a feeling that if we, in the meantime, try and see if there's a gathering or something going on, we're going to end up getting pulled into something, and then time's not going to line up, and we're going to end up fucked.
That's fair.
Because every time I go to one of these things, I get something. There's something that happens to me where I go do this or look into that, or I get pulled into some weird thing. I'm just nervous that's going to happen again.
Well, what do we still need to look into? We still haven't found out much about Shalim, the Cult of Shalim.
That's on the southwest side of the city. I don't really have an exact location, but the guy's a rabbi, which kind of tells me that it may involve a church.
Ooh.
And I'm not really all that interested in going in a church.
Is it a church? Is it a synagogue? Like, what does he work out?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where that line is. If there is
I don't
one.
know either.
I'm not really sure that I want to find out.
Also, if he's a vampire or has ties to a vampire, I mean, in theory, he wouldn't be able to operate. I mean, he could operate out of a church, but
there are
he's a
certainly
rabbi.
vampire.
Rabbis don't use churches, I don't think.
I don't know. I don't really know. But I do happen to know that there are vampires who do operate out of the church.
Well, all right. Like the Christian church?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't like going there, so I assumed most others didn't, but that could just be me. All right. Well, we could cruise down south, see what we see. We'll look around the area, see if there's any non-oogie boogie feeling places that are like churches or synagogues or any other house of worship.
Yeah, so I mean, the only other information that I have related to that is that they are feuding with the ministry over the destitute. So I'm guessing that if we were to find any clues, that we would have to go to where the destitute might be on the southwest side. And it's just,
isn't that the whole southwest side though? All right. Well, we can cruise down there and check it out.
I do want to interject, Jeff. As a Baali, every religious building has an oogie woogie feeling to you.
That's fair.
All
the reason I
paraphernalia.
The reason I said that the synagogue or whatever may not is because I, as Sullavin, probably haven't fucked with anything other than the Christian church, and that's how I know it's bad. Like, okay, we don't go near there. But like, I don't know how much exposure I would have had to that, considering I'm not that old.
Oh, that would have been a warning from your sire, 100%. It's not just like fair. Catholic churches or Christian faith. It's all holy sites.
Maybe
and it's lucky. All.
Maybe we'll get lucky and this guy performs out of a blown out building or something. Or we'll just have to pick a night and fucking scope him out and wait till he leaves and catch him on the road or at his house.
Well, he's a high priest, so I'm guessing that means he's money.
Well, either way, we got 3 hours to kill, give or take. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean that's fine. You want to cruise around that area?
Sure. Who knows if they're an actual religious movement out there? Maybe the homeless will talk. Maybe there's freaking little handouts or something that somebody tossed on the road somewhere. Who knows? Let's go see what happens.
Yeah, maybe they're going around passing out flyers, posting them in the underpasses.
Right. If they're fighting for the destitute, maybe that's where they're.
All right.
We haven't had a whole lot of luck with religions lately, so.
This is true.
So, you guys drive further down south. So you guys basically take Lakeshore completely past all the museum complex, and you hop off 41 and slide it over to 90, take 90 south, and you hop off 90 like right outside of Back of the Yards or Inglewood, and you start making your way through the neighborhoods there. And once you get down here and start scoping places out, you realize a couple of things off the bat. One, even in this cold, there's people sleeping on the street, in vehicles, in like old, like maybe half burned out buildings that have been kind of converted, into just a shelter for people who escape from the pure bitter cold outside. Given that it's nighttime, you do see a couple of like makeshift bonfires and like old oil drums and things of that nature. And you'll see a couple people here and there standing around them. In terms of religious services, you guys do occasionally see, like at a stop sign, a couple people kind of out, at corners, like handing out flyers for soup kitchens and homeless shelters that are run by various denominations down here. In this part of the city, you have started to leave some of that glitz far behind as you make it this way. Now, in these areas, there are some efforts to kind of do that. People have converted warehouses and tried to make, upscale lofts out of them. Some of this succeeds in a small little, like, I guess you would call them enclaves among the rest of the destitute of the city. But most time they don't, because nobody wants to pay the prices they're asking to live in the neighborhoods that they're in. So it's a bit of a struggle here between people trying to buy property cheap, gentrify it and sell it for high prices, and the realities of the situation. So there's a lot of poverty on this side of Chicago as you're kind of making your way through these neighborhoods. Now, the second thing that hits you is that you guys know how cults work, especially Preston. You have a specialization in cult operations, and a lot of this stuff is not going to be as in your face as, say, normal religious offerings and like soup kitchens and things of that nature are going to be. So really, as you're seeing out here, it's like where do you pick? You're looking for a needle in a haystack, essentially, with no leads whatsoever, except for they're down in this direction. Now, as you guys kind of go through West Englewood, there is a synagogue that's in the area. It's a Ethiopian Hebrew congregation. It's off of Kedzie. It's not quite what you're expecting when you drive by in terms of like, okay, we're looking for this La Sombra rabbi. You don't really see any kindred as you're driving by. It's just literally people who are trying to make the best out of a really bad neighborhood, and they're serving people. Like you'll see there's a line for a soup kitchen out back. There's a clinic that's been set up on the side of the building. It looks like people here are really trying to just do what they can for the community at this particular synagogue. This is the only one in this area that you've seen that stands out at all. But as you do drive past, you will kind of get an uncomfortable feeling from the building itself. A little more than like, oh, that's a cross. That bothers me a little bit. No, this is like, I should probably not go to that building type feeling, especially as Baali, as you are tainted and touched by darkness. Whatever has settled over that particular structure doesn't want you in it. And it's pretty clear to you.
Well, we won't be going in there.
Nope. But, I mean, it fits the bill. We would just have to stake it out or do some info gathering.
Do you know anybody in this area? Or know anybody who might know is like a spot in this area where vampires might congregate?
No, probably not. We could always ask Jason. What?
You know what'll happen if we call Jason?
We'll get pulled into some shit.
Well, no, he'll be like, oh, you know what? It just so happens that I'm in the southwest side too. Like I'm right where are you guys at? I'm like 2 blocks away. Come get me. We'll go out. And then it'll be a whole thing.
All right. Well, then how about what's her face? This guy's La Sombra, right? So why not give her a call? Maybe see if she's finally free.
It has been a few weeks.
You guys will drive like another block or so past the synagogue, and you'll see this like incredibly colorful market. It looks like an old corner store with the awning, the way it kind of stretches around the side of the building and around the corner. It's an old corner store, but it's been built up and it's kind of encompassed the entire building on the corner now. And it's got these large glass windows out front, and it looks like a thrift shop. But there's also got, you can see a couple people on the outside selling like different types of street food. Very colorful. It looks like it's an Ethiopian shop. As you guys hit the corner and stop at the light, you hear conversations and talking inside the shop, and out of the shop you see walking in his bright colored like robes, like greens and reds and blacks, is Marcel. You guys have seen Marcel at court. He is the ministry primogen, essentially, of the court. A while back, instead of the Tremere getting a seat when he left, Lord Nikolai, the former primogen of the Tremere clan in Chicago, gave their seat to Marcel, which is kind of like blocked off and pissed off several Tremere. Not that DuSable's really done anything about it. It's just that Marcel is now kind of like a speaker of the unaligned of some cases, who's just kind of hanging out in the city. Has good standing, which is funny enough, but he walks out. Looks like he's with two other individuals, and they're walking towards a black sedan.
Nikolai with the ultimate fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, that's a primogen. That's Marcel. He's ministry.
Oh shit! Didn't you say that they're kind of on the outs with this guy and possibly the Shalim?
Yeah, my info says that they're the ministry's in competition with the Shalim.
You want to go talk to him?
And say what?
Hey, bro, where are these dudes that are pissing you off? I don't know.
Point us in the direction of your problems.
Right. Hey, we've helped other people with their problems. We're known for doing that, but no, I mean, I'm trying to think of how we could tie it in with what's her name, and I don't remember her name out of game.
Well, I don't want to go telling this dude that she spouted off about anything because I don't want that to get back to her, and then I don't want to give away our source.
All right, that's fair. Okay, well, we'll keep driving for now, but it's good to know he's in the area. Is that somebody we can come to that we know?
We try and follow him.
To follow a primogen?
For a little,
nice move. We can,
for a little while. Yeah, I'm not saying tailgate him or anything like that, but
All right, man. I mean, we can try.
Just see what direction he's headed at least. Maybe he's going to a meeting or something.
Thought you wanted to avoid a meeting.
No. Maybe he's going to a meeting. We can see who he's meeting with.
Oh, I gotcha.
I don't want to attend any meetings.
All right. Well, I've never done this before, so if we get caught, I'm just saying it's your fault.
Gotta learn somehow.
All right. I guess we're gonna follow this guy.
Picking up a new skill, Sullivan. It's important to always.
Yeah, you sit there in a passenger seat and keep spouting that shit.
So you guys see the light turns green, and as it turns green, you'll see that Marcel and these two individuals will get to the sedan. The two guys will get into the vehicle. Marcel kind of stands on the sidewalk, puts a hand on the top of the car, leans in, says something to the inside. The door closes, and the car pulls off, but he starts walking down the street. Like he's heading north.
Oh. Okay.
All right, so what do you want to do? Are we going to try and follow this car, or do you want to meet a park and get out? We follow him on foot.
Let's just go talk to him.
You guys get a honk from behind you as you're sitting at the light. Just honk, honk.
Yeah.
I'll roll down the window.
Motherfucker.
What? I can't hear you.
Lays on the horn again.
All right.
I'm deaf.
It's joined by like two others behind you as you're like sitting at the light, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is going on up there?"
I'm gonna wait until it turns yellow, and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, let's park in. What an asshole.
You pull off, and are you going to park? It sounded like Sean was saying you guys are going to park and follow him on foot, or
yeah, I think so.
All right, so you pull ahead and go to park. The guy who was behind you literally rides your ass all the way through the intersection, and as you pull over, he just lays on the horn again. He's driving this big, like, black extended cab, extended bed pickup truck. It's like that asshole who tries to park in the city and gets pissed off because he can't because he's got this big-ass truck. He just drives by and honks at you as he goes.
I'm just going to lean back as he drives by, and I'm going to look at Preston. If he would have fucked up this fucking new paint job we have on this car, I would lose my shit.
He doesn't have any balls. He was born with a small dick. That's why he drives that truck.
Fair. So I'll get out.
So you guys park the vehicle, get out of the SUV. Marcel's maybe like a third of the way down the block at this point. He's just walking calmly. You can see like the air is clouding up as he exhales. Obviously, he's looking a little bit more flush, as if a moral were walking down the street. His clothing.
Attempt to do as well.
All right, go ahead and roll me your rouse.
There's no way. There's no way I hit this twice.
I got it that time. I'm good.
Oh,
2 in a
We're
row.
starting a new trend, ladies and gentlemen. Preston
Damn.
finally makes those rolls.
Damn.
So you guys get out of the vehicle, and as the cold starts to hit you of the streets this early March day, you kind of force your blood through your veins, feel it kind of like weakly pump through your heart, and start warming the top layer of skin on you. You start blinking a little more. Again, breathing comes more naturally. It's not just a side effect of having to inhale to be able to talk. Now it's actually just happening as you move. And moreover, what's important, especially in the cold, is that you are now breathing a bit of mist as you exhale into the air around you. So you guys kind of bundle up, do the whole mortal shtick, oh, I've got to be so cold, and start walking after Marcel a bit. Now, Marcel seems to be humming a slight tune to himself as he's walking down the street. He seems like he has no care in the world. Whether or not he notices you doesn't make any sign either way.
Are there a lot of other people walking down the street?
Given that it's probably in the 20s, not as many as you would expect, but it is a Friday night and the neighborhood is kind of busy. There's a lot of small, like little corner shops and like the occasional like bar that's in the middle of the street up here that kind of has a good amount of foot traffic. A couple of people kind of nod to Marcel as he walks by. You'll see him nod back, and you realize that you're leaving part of the Ethiopian area of the neighborhood and heading into more of a Haitian area, which is where people are starting to greet him a bit more.
Going back to his home turf. Once I get a little bit closer, and we'll walk a little bit quicker to try and start getting some distance. Once I get within, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 feet or so, I'll start calling out to him. Excuse me, Mr. Marcel, Mr. Marcel.
You'll speak up and call out. He'll just kind of stop, like mid-step, look like a half turn and look over his shoulder and see the two of you, raises a brow, and he pulls off to the side to let a couple people walk by him. And where he goes a step by is like, it looks like a building that kind of burned down a bit ago, like at least a couple months, because you can see like where it's like burned and some repairs have started. So they've got the front boarded up. There's a bunch of like old posters that have been splattered against this like plywood, surface now. And he goes and leans back against that for a second as people walk by him and seems to wait for you to.
I'll head up to him.
I will again pull the lackey, and I'll take a step or make sure I'm a step behind, and just like I'm following Preston around. I'm a hanger-on.
What can I do for you, gentlemen? And when he speaks, you can hear that Haitian accent in his voice.
Mr. Marcel, my name's Preston. This is my friend Sullavin. We actually, I wouldn't assume that you'd be familiar with us, but the three of us are actually a part of the same social club. And we've been meaning to catch up with you and have a conversation with you. It's really cold out here, though. I was wondering if you had a few minutes to maybe step inside somewhere and just have a chat. Again, sorry to bother you. I'm sure you're on your way somewhere more important than talking to us.
Well, I know who you are. I recognize you. You did some work for Damien.
Yeah, yes, we did.
But I have a place, and he'll just kind of gesture, with his hand up the street, a little bit down the block. We can talk.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Just follow me. And he'll kind of push off of that plywood and start walking, up the street. Now, the sidewalks here are mostly cleared off. There's still some snow and some slush about. So as you're walking, your feet are kind of sometimes sliding a bit. You're not getting as good purchase as you would like. And with your newly warmed skin, you can feel the bottoms of your feet occasionally get a little bit of that wet as it kind of soaks through the sides of your shoes. Slightly uncomfortable, but you guys make it with the walk not too difficult. There's not a lot of problems at all. A couple places the sidewalks cracked here and there. You hear a couple more people kind of like, give hellos to Marcel in languages that you're not familiar with. Something that sounds a little bit like French, perhaps, with a heavy accent. He responds in kind. It's all friendly. The tone that you're getting, at least, is one of comfortability. People here know who he is. They're comfortable with him being around, and he's a welcome addition to this neighborhood. As he kind of brings you guys to this small little bar, he steps inside. It's one of those small like neighborhood bars with like the diamond shaped windows, that are just about the size of somebody's head, roughly. The door opens up. You can see that it's got this like red peeling paint job on the concrete floor. Somebody laid down one of those black rugs right by the entrance. Marcel steps in and just kind of stomps the snow and the slush off his feet. The inside is very dimly lit. It looks like they got a bunch of cheap high top tables and high chairs in those small little red glass globes. and they have like candles going inside of them. And there are a couple of small lights across the ceiling that's leaving like a really, really low lit, like candlelight, I guess, air to this small bar. When you step in, the air smells very strongly of spices and like almost like a spicy barbecue scent that's in the air. There's a black one tending bar behind the counter. There's maybe a smattering of four or five individuals just trying to sit at the bar having some beers or watching looks like some replays of some football matches on TV. The bartender, she kind of like gives Marcel a nod as she's cleaning a mug. He nods back to her and starts leading you guys back through the bar towards a small little booth that's in the back. Once you get there, he just gestures to it, stands, to the side, lets you both get in.
All right, yeah, we'll get in and sit.
Slide in for sure.
Yep, he'll slide in after you, and the seat is like that red vinyl. And you know how sometimes you get in an old like diner seat and it's kind of cracked, so you can feel like in between like that fuzzy, like not quite the stuffing, but it's like that fuzzy layer of the vinyl itself is kind of cracked open a bit. So it's a bit disrepair. The table itself shakes a little bit. It's uneven. It's got that cheap particle board like finished surface on the top, and again one of those little red globes with the candle lit on the table in the middle. Once he sits down across from you guys, you see him kind of adjust himself, make sure that he's a little more comfortable, settles in, and just puts his hands on the table in front of him, folds his hands, and says, "So what can I do for you, gentlemen?"
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. I'm glad that you're already familiar with us. That saves a little bit of time. I'm an up-and-coming member of the city, and my friend here, he's way more on the lower end of up-and-coming, but, trying to do what he can. Just through, word of mouth, things spread fast. You hear stuff. We're fascinated by something called the Cult of Shalim, and the information that we have indicates that perhaps you and the ministry and them are maybe not on so great of terms. So we wanted to approach you to see if maybe there's some kind of, I don't know, arrangement or exchange that we could make for information on maybe what you know about them, just for our information as we, try and get more familiar with the different organizations and different dynamics across the city and find new ways to plug ourselves in.
Well, I do think I know who you're talking about, the Lasambra. Yeah?
Baceris is the name that we have.
The rabbi.
Yeah.
He's a problem, yes. And I do know where he is. Are you looking to take him out?
Oh, no, nothing like that. We don't have such aspirations. I just don't know anything about this Shalim. And if I'm going to be in a city like Chicago, where there is so many different moving parts, I kind of like to know who everyone is so that I know who I can associate with and who I should not associate with, if you know what I mean. Especially considering my position as somebody who's a little bit lower on the totem pole here.
Well, I wouldn't call yourself too low on the totem pole. I know who you are. Most of the Crimson Council knows who you are. The Prince knows who you are. So you're not low. You're just not well established.
That's a better way of putting it, certainly.
In terms of this Shalim, I have heard whispers. I don't pay much attention to it. It's just another, funny as it may be, just another fly-by-night cult, in my opinion, that's flitting through the city. They're trying to pull a pseudo-Buddhist belief structure out here in this area, and it's just not working out for them very well. They want to embrace nothingness and emptiness and sever ties. I think this is the wrong neighborhood for them to try that in, but they've tried it nonetheless. They're not doing very well.
So that type of belief structure, it sounds like, runs counter to the current belief structure of those in this area.
Oh, definitely. You seen the church, or excuse me, the synagogue down the street?
Yeah, right down the street.
Yeah.
If I could own stock in a church, I would buy stock in that church. But since they're not publicly traded yet, I trade favors. I help them with some of their organization, and I get things in return. And let me tell you, people who believe in something rather than nothing are a lot more easy to manage.
So you were initially trying to help them? Is that,
Who, the
or am
Shalim?
I?
No.
No. Okay. I was confused.
Not
I
at
was like,
all. Their belief structure is out of touch with this place. And there's no way you don't manipulate people through their belief in nothing. You manipulate them because their belief in something. Therefore, the church is a better way to go. The synagogue's a better way to go. I wouldn't bother to try to reach out to these Shalim worshippers, whatever that is.
gotcha.
So does the rabbi then not operate out of a synagogue?
No, not that I know.
Interesting. That's interesting.
It may be just a former title left over from his living days.
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. So do you know where they gather? Like, do they have like a different?
They haven't invited me to the secret handshake meeting yet, so I don't quite know where
Oh.
their clubhouse is.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame.
Why do you want to know? You want to know about them, just approach them on Elysium.
Well, the thing
I haven't
about
seen
it.
him on Elysium yet.
Well, we haven't seen him specifically on Elysium. There have been Lasombra. I don't like to assume that all Lasombra are part of the Cult of Shalim, and
They're
also,
not.
I'm a Toreador, and my clan right now is sort of well, the directive that we've been given is to kind of hold back a little bit and see. So you understand, if I'm seen approaching Lasombra on Elysium, it may make me look bad to my clan, and I'm still trying to ingratiate myself as best as I can to keep myself in good standing.
You
know how it
decided
goes.
to come speak to somebody who is in opposition to them to learn about them.
Well, like I said, I had heard that there was a sort of a territorial dispute going on between the ministry and the Shalim, and I thought that you'd be the more reasonable individual to approach, given that you're a primogen and you do seem like a reasonable gentleman to deal with.
You truly are Toreador. You try to say all the right words at the right times, and I appreciate it. But I can't really help you pin them down. I don't really have any. Let me put it this way. I believe that the Shalimites, these Shalim worshippers, whatever you want to call them, I think that they feel that we're in a struggle. I feel that we feel they're an annoyance.
Ah,
It's a little more one-sided than I feel that you know. We're
Hence
not
your
concerned with them.
Hence your outlook is they're just an upstart cult.
They don't have any
Makes
grounding in
sense.
the city. The ministry has been here nearly since the start of the city. We have a lot more roots here, especially in many different places. These people are trying to come in and create their own little nest, which is fine.
Sure, it's
We
a
don't
big
mind
city.
that.
I mean, they
Just-
figure
yes.
they could probably get lost in the numbers.
If they want to peddle in misery, there's plenty of misery to go around. They don't have to sup from our well, if you know what I mean. But they've tried to. Luckily, for us, the neighborhoods have a lot more faith than they have lack of faith, so they don't get a lot of headway here. We just assume maybe 2 or 3 years they'll just give up and try somewhere else.
That's definitely a possibility.
that makes sense.
If you don't gain traction somewhere, the only course of action is to move somewhere where you do. So
Yes.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I do appreciate you taking the time to stop and speak with us and telling us what you know and kind of your impression of this cult of Shalim. What I would like to do is leave you with my contact information. That way, if there's anything maybe I could ever do for you, you can feel free to reach out. And
Well, I actually have 2 questions I would like to ask you.
sure.
One is, word is that a certain primogen owes you favors.
That's correct.
I would be interested in acquiring those from you for a price.
Well, that's be a pretty big price. Newberry's been here a long time. He's pretty well established. He's a valuable individual to be in your debt.
I will tell you what's very telling right now. The information you came to seek, you came to me and didn't call Newberry and try to change in that, favors that he owes you, which means either you don't have full confidence or full trust in him, which means that those favors aren't quite as valuable as you're trying to make them out to be to you. So the price would be large, I agree, but not so large as I feel that you want to make it out to be. And I think you know that.
Or I would counter with that I came here willing to do a favor for you in exchange for information received and develop a new relationship in the city rather than cashing in old favors over and over again. And I'll just smile. I'll just smile at him, right? The Torador smile.
He'll chuckle, and he'll lean back in his seat. You'll see his hands kind of unfold, and they'll kind of pull back across the surface of the table. Then they'll drum out a little tune on the edge for a second. I can accept that. I don't blame you. I would like to tread new ground myself. Tread the same ground over and over becomes tiresome. But the second question I have is, why is Annabelle pushing for severe punishment for the Bahari? You're a Toreador. Sure you know. Now, we know, and I'm sure you do as well, anybody who's visited court in the last week knows, that we understand Trina Valesco has murdered a member of the Church of Cain. Banu Hakim, no doubt. Which has earned her the ire of Prince Jackson. Now, Jackson has been very, very quiet on what he tends to do about the subject, because one doesn't simply resolve one murder or two murders in his domain by murdering another without permission. And we have your illustrious Primogen, we feel, positioning herself for a full-on blood hunt of the Bahari. Why?
Well, far be it from me to speak on behalf of the Primogen of my clan, but I can tell you that traditionally, Clan Torador appreciates an environment where there's peace, and sometimes through peace, certain sacrifices need to be made, certain punishments need to be delved out, and I think Annabelle likes to come across, especially to Prince Jackson, as somebody who's willing to make the difficult decisions and push for harsh punishment in the name of order in the city.
A very well-worded answer. I'd say we're even for now.
Very
but
well.
Doors have been opened, and that's always a good thing.
Very productive conversation. Mr. Marcel, thank you so much again for meeting with us, and I hope we'll have dealings again in the future.
Of course. If you're ever looking to talk to me, ask for me at the bar. I'm usually around, or they're able to get a hold of me.
Wonderful. That's good to know.
Thank
you so much.
Kind of curious, though, as to what you would have been willing to trade for said boon with Mr. Newberry.
Are you offering it?
Potentially.
What do you want for it?
How about we just simply do a boon for a boon, an equal share? I'm giving you a boon. I receive the same amount of a boon from you. That way, that keeps the door open. Our illustrious Toreador over here, and I'll kind of allude to Preston, doesn't have to maybe lose face to Jason Newberry as a Primogen, but me as a novice when it comes to political maneuvering doesn't look so bad. Or he'll just scoff at it because I'm a kid. Whereas clearly, this is something that interested you, and I like you, and I think you're well enough established to where I would consider that an even trade.
I'd agree to that.
Okay. Does that require a simple phone call then? I don't know. You're a Primogen, so I would defer to you on this.
Well, I'm actually heading to an Elysium this evening, so I'll more than likely see Annabelle or one of the others around to announce them. It won't take anything but that.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then I'll reach out a hand. Consider it done.
He'll reach across the table and he'll shake your hand. His fingers are long, a bit thin, but he's got a strong grip. Imagine somebody who's probably worked in the field a lot. You know, they get a little bit like those thinner but like wiry grip. That's the best way to put it across Marcel's handshake. But once he releases your hand,
unlike others, I will give him a firm handshake. Playing into hopefully the symbolism of he's part of the ministry. He's a speaker for the unaligned. I am technically unaligned. So
right.
It's a little bit of manipulation on my part.
So,
that's okay.
So what you're saying is you don't shit bow him.
I do not shit bow him. I give him a respectful handshake.
No shit bow. All right. So He shakes your hand. Once you kind of give him a firm grip, he nods in appreciation. Once he releases your hand and your grips part, he's like, so you may get a message for confirmation either the next time you see her or the next time you're at court, but just give the affirmative and we'll be good to go.
Perfect.
Now, unless you gentlemen have something else.
No, that was all.
All right. Well, I have some business to see to before I head out for the evening, so you guys can take the table if you wish for as long as you like, but I'm going to head into the back.
We will see ourselves out. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Appreciate your time.
Of course. And he'll rise to his feet, kind of slide out of the booth before doing so. You see him kind of stretch his back.
I'll sense this in.
Okay. So, since you love doing this, and I don't blame you, it is, again, your charisma and blood sorcery versus his resolve and composure.
I would like to use 2.
All right, so you cash in 2 of dice. He will cash in 1. All right, so you got a total of 7. Oh, yeah, damn, nice.
Yeah, that's a lot of successes.
And he rolls a total of 8. So let's get his going. Not nearly as many. So as he goes to turn, what's funny here is normally when you've done this, you've gotten something violent.
Mm-hmm.
It's, either it was it the machete and the talons when, Trina, actually that was Preston, when Trina went after one of the Church of Cain, and then you had the one where you did Balthazar's sense and he just was beating the hell out of one of Newberry's ghouls. This time around...
I also did one with Nerissa where she was covered in kindred blood and all sorts of other shit.
Because everything's fun like that, man. It's all equal opportunity, unrestrained violence. When you do this to Marcel, he is... Well, you are, when you your senses kind of coalesce into your vision, you're sitting behind this desk and there's room filled with smoke. And the wallpaper on the walls is like this old red, like velvet type wallpaper with raised velvet with like a gold background, like all these weird patterns in it. The room feels like the lighting of this room, like this bar that you're in. It's at low candle lit, but you hear him very calmly talking to someone, and that he's convinced them into taking this course of action that's going to result in many people dying. He's basically trying to start what seems like a gang war, and he has no compunction about doing it between different gangs in this part of the neighborhoods. He's basically setting them up to war directly at like a location of one of his rivals' like territories, so that it devalues the territory, kills some of the people as bystanders, and drives people away from it so he can come in later on and build it up. At least that's the kind of like as you hear him talking, that's the rationale you're pulling from it. And he does this effectively. He gets multiple people killed just by having a conversation. He knows it's wrong,
manipulator,
but he's doing it because he knows that's what he needs to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When you get pulled back into your current situation, Marcel is kind of stretched and cracked his back and started walking back through like this bead curtain at the back of this bar.
You ready?
I'm ready.
We'll get up. I'll leave. I spent my $3,000 on fixing the car, but I have resources of 1. I'll just leave a tenner on the table for tip or whatever. I know we didn't get anything, but gotta keep them, chill, and we'll head out.
Right. You guys will step back out into the cold. You see on the side, in the front of the building here, there's a couple of guys who have taken like some empty, like 5-gallon, drums, kind of turned them over. They're sitting on the buckets, smoking cigarettes and just talking.
Yeah, provided they're not approaching us with weapons or some weird shit like that, we'll keep walking as far as I'm aware.
Oh, nobody fucks with you.
Do we need to rouse again to breathe out here again?
No, you're good. I'm letting you go a little longer with these, since it is such a costly potentially thing. You guys head back to the SUV. You walk down the block and go back to the, the corner of the street where you parked the car. And when you get there, your windshield's broken. And there's a sign underneath one of your windshield wipers.
Oh, fucking, like a stop sign is
No. Like somebody wrote something on a piece of paper and put it underneath your...
I'll check it.
Learn how to drive, fucko.
If I see that big black truck again, I'm gonna make him like lick the asphalt right where a hobo pissed or something. Like, fuck this guy.
It looks like somebody took like a pipe or something and just hit the middle of the windshield. So it's this massive crack that's just spidered across the windshield.
I'll look around to see if I see that truck or if anybody's like lingering to see this general area.
No, but you will see this African kid riding a skateboard through the slushy snow sidewalk. As you walk up, you're like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Hey, Mister, can tell you where the guys that did to your car for $20."
I'll just look at Preston. Sure, kid. I'll pull out 20.
He'll put his hand out,
I'll give it to him.
take it, put it in his pocket. It's like, awesome. You want to go down the block that way? Like out just outside the neighborhood, there's going to be another bar on the corner. That's where the car's parked. It looks like he went in there. Big, ugly looking white dude.
Appreciate it, kid. Enjoy the 20.
Yeah, take care. And he'll just go skating off around the corner.
Are you gonna be able to
You still got
drive
time.
with this window fucked up? Are
Well,
you
not
able to see?
legally. Well, not fucking legally. We're going to have it towed and we're going to have to dip into your money this time. I'm out. Took my last $3,000 to repair all the shit from last time.
You can call an emergency repair guy to come out here and do it. It like takes like an hour or two.
Yeah, it's Safe Light or whatever.
Mhm.
Safe
up to you,
light
man.
repair, safe light replace.
Replace. Exactly. I mean, we're going to have to clean up the glass. They're not going to fucking do that. But
Oh, it didn't like shatter it in. It's just like he hit it and it just
Oh, it's
spidered
spiderweb.
across.
Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely can't drive it legally because if you don't have 100% vision, it's
You can get
really-
pulled over. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we can take a walk while we call those guys. and
Yeah,
go see.
we'll walk in that direction, and while we're walking, I'll call and get Safe Light or Gerber or one of those fucking local places out to take care of it. I'll tell them I'll pay cash.
Okay. It'll
Made
take
the dude wait 30 extra seconds. He broke my fucking windshield. That's not fucking equal exchange, bro. You have escalated beyond repair.
It's going to cost like around $250. They'll come out and replace it within 20 minutes. They'll be there.
Well,
I mean,
I have resources of one,
Me too. And whatever I have left.
you also
I
have
throw-
$3,000, by the way,
and I also have $3,000.
from the Newberry situation.
That's right. Well, there we go.
So yeah, getting the money for that's not a problem at all. Like you make the phone call, like, yo, we got a guy in the area. He'll be there in like 20 minutes. He's just finishing up a job right now. Just give me a license plate of the vehicle. Well, you're going to be nearby, right?
Yeah, we're gonna be in the area.
Okay, we'll give you a call once the guy's there, and we'll get it all taken care of for you.
Thank you so much.
Happy motoring.
I'll just hang up.
Go fuck yourself.
I have nothing to say to that shit. Happy motoring.
So
Put my
you
hands
guys,
in my pocket and we'll start trudging down the street.
so you guys heading down the street towards that bar.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys basically walk just outside the neighborhood. It's like a block and a half away, right? You go the rest of this block and you knock the other block out. As you're walking through the cold. And you're walking through, like, now that you're off a main road, it's just the residential neighborhood. So, like, houses, 3 flats on either side of you, just neighborhood stuff. And you come across this neighborhood bar. Not that far off from that hole in the wall bar where you met Newberry that one time. Just a ratty little corner bar. And you can see that big ass black truck is parked in a fire hydrant spot right in front of the bar.
I am going to pull out my phone. I'll snap a picture of his license plate first thing.
Okay.
He said he's parked in right in front of a fucking hydrogen or
Yep. Hydrant.
hydrant. I'll be like, hey, we could always call the cops and have his shit towed real quick and see who comes running out going, hey, where's my car going?
We could.
Or do you have an or was that like, yeah, let's do that?
I don't really have an or.
Okay.
I don't really have a plan here.
I just want to see who it is because I'm going to start tormenting them relentlessly.
All right.
I'll pull out, or I'll keep my cell phone out and I'll just dial 0 and ask for a non-emergency, and
Okay.
I will report this guy's car.
The office you get, or it should be the dispatcher, you get is like, all right, so it's the corner of what again? And you give him the address. He's like, all
Yep.
right, we'll send somebody out within the hour.
We appreciate it. Thank you. I'll hang up and
Okay.
I'll stand across the street, kind of either in an alley or behind a car or something, just kind of chilling nonchalantly as I'm waiting. We
You
got
guys
some
will wait
time. We'll check
probably
my
about,
watch.
yeah, you'll be there probably about 10 minutes and you'll see a squad pull by, slow up by the vehicle. You see the cop on the radio in the driver's seat. Then it slowly just keeps on pulling forward and then snaps a parking space a little bit off the block. And you're waiting again. He gets out, you see him walk to the car, it pulls out his little notepad and is writing down the license plate and all. It looks like he's writing a citation. And about 5 minutes later, you'll see a city tow truck. Well, a tow truck that's contracted by the city will come out and start hooking this guy's, truck up. About 5 minutes after that happens, Preston will get a phone call as they're still hooking the thing up.
Hello.
Hey, I'm here to get the windshield replaced to your SUV. I don't see anybody out here by the vehicle. I want to make sure I'm at the right place and that I'm where we need to be.
Yeah. Sorry, it's been a bad day. I just headed down to grab a drink real quick, but I'm just down the block. But yeah, if you want to get started, I'll head in that direction.
Well, usually I got to have you up here to sign this stuff. But I tell you what, if you're busy, say toss like another 20 in and we'll call it even. I'll just get it done for you while you're out.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That works.
Yeah, no problem. He'll hang up. So you'll see them start hooking this vehicle up to the tow truck, and you'll see this big dude walk out. Like, we're talking like a Dave Bautista looking like buff guy, wearing this like crap ass like old leather jacket and blue jeans and some boots. Looks like work boots, like Wolverine boots. He'll step out, step towards like, "Hey, that's my fucking truck. What are you doing, you ass hair?" And the tow truck is like,
steps out,
"Hey,"
and he's in the light. I'm gonna snap a picture from across the street just so I got his face.
The tow truck is like, "I'm towing your car is what the fuck I'm doing. What are you doing?" "I'm about to ruin your fucking day." And you see the cop go, "I wouldn't do that," as he walks around the back of the truck. You see this guy's hand on his sidearm. Hasn't pulled it. It's just resting there. And he's got his notepad's put back in his vest pocket. His other hand kind of goes out like, "You need to step back, sir, and calm yourself down." He's like, "I'm fucking calm down. You towed my fucking car for no reason." And he's like, "Sir, you're in front of a fire hydrant." "No, fuck that." And he goes and charges the cop.
Jesus Christ.
What do you guys do?
I'll watch him charge the cop.
Okay, you're just gonna sit back like, "All right, fuck it, we ain't involved." So this worded out.
I'm gonna call 911.
Okay.
There's a crazy guy in this parking lot attacking a cop. He needs help. I don't know if he's going to be able to call backup. This guy's really violent and dangerous. I think he might be on drugs.
So the dispatcher again starts trying to get you information where you are, what the situation is, trying to calm you down, get you to stay on the line. And this guy, you see him charge the cop. As the cop's ready to pull his holstered sidearm, the guy grabs him by the front of his vest, picks him up, and slams him into the back corner of the truck. Just like, raw, boom! And the guy's like, "You motherfucker!" And just picks him up again and slams him again. The cop's like stunned. He managed to pull his sidearm clear of the holster, but the second hit, you hear that gun skitter across the asphalt to the ground. They kind of slide into that mushy, like black and white gray mixture of slushy snow and ice on the corner. It just slides into one of those like little bunches. The guy who's at the tow truck's like, "Oh shit!" So the guy pulls back from the tow truck. He runs to the cab of his truck. And as this guy picks up the cop and just throws him into like the mud and slush on the side of the road, he spits on him like, "Fuck you, man." The tow truck driver comes out with a shotgun. He's like, "You need to step the fuck back or I'm going to shoot your ass." The muscle-bound guy's like, "Oh, you want some too?" The guy's like, "Get back. I'm not going to warn you again. You need to get back." And the guy goes running against him. As he's doing that, and he's like halfway to the tow truck driver, you see the cop kind of just very wearily grunt and pull his taser out and shoot the guy in the back of the leg. The guy hits the ground and starts convulsing in the slushy asphalt. That's about the time that you get off the phone with the dispatcher, and she lets you know that they're sending another vehicle out to assist.
Thank you. I'll hang up. I'll just continue to watch the chaos on.
Essentially what it comes down to is the cop that's been basically smashed into the car and into the asphalt is hurt. He can't actually get up very well. Like, he's struggling. The tow truck driver helps him up, helps him get up. The guy gets his gun back as this muscle bound, roided out dude is kind of gasping on the street. By the time backup arrives, they manage to get him handcuffed and throw him in the back of a squad car. And then it kind of resolves. Like, he's in the back of the car, squad car pulls off, tow truck driver manages to pull away with that big ass truck, takes it to the impound lot, and you guys are left there on the corner of the street.
Well, first, what I'd like to do when the cop leaves with the dude and the tow truck driver comes up to start hooking up, I'm going to approach the tow truck driver and I'm going to say, "Hey, man, sorry for the trouble. I kind of know that guy. He's kind of a problem when he's drunk. He's got some stuff in the truck that he might need. Would you mind? Like, can I grab? I know he's an asshole, but like, can I grab it for him real quick? Can I just get in the truck real fast?"
With all due respect, fuck that guy and what he needs. I'm not letting anybody get in the vehicle.
I know he's an asshole, but look, man, if you could just be reasonable. I'm gonna try and
I can't. Guy, Ray. Okay, so I'm not gonna have you roll for it. He is just immortal. He's a little SPC castaway, so you entrance him, and you can see that conflict kind of play out across his face. He's like, I really shouldn't be doing this. No, he's an asshole. And you're like, oh, come on. And you just kind of lay it on thick. He's like, all right, listen, I'll let you get in really quick, but don't tell anybody, okay?
My word is my bond. I'm not going to rat you out, man. I appreciate
that. I trust you. You're a nice enough guy to do that for an asshole like that. So just, go ahead and get what you need. I'm going to be like another 5 minutes. So just, I got to do paperwork. And you'll see him walk up. He'll unlock the cab door, and then he'll head into the cab of his truck and start just finishing up the paperwork for the vehicle before they pull away. All
right, I'll get in there and I'll see what's in here. I mean, if there's nothing like, I'm assuming there's nothing like, oh my God, but I'll go into the glove box and I'll grab like the vehicle registration.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I have like name and like information, like his name and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. So you go in, and first off, the inside of the truck, the cab is nice. It's got this extended crew cab. Looks like he takes care of it, but you do see he's got like a couple of crumpled, like empty energy drink bottles, or not bottles, but cans in the cab. In the middle console, you manage to see like there's a couple of prescription pill bottles for like high blood pressure. In the glove box, you pull it open, and a Ziploc bag with a bunch of like looks like chunks of like rock inside kind of fall out, like a white crystalline type rock substance. And then you get the title and everything, the insurance and all that inside the glove box. There's also a knife in there, probably like a good 6-inch blade.
I'll have to grab the knife.
Okay.
I'll just grab the knife and the registration or whatever that would have his name and all that. And there's enough, whatever I could find that has enough information where we could find this fucking guy if we had to. And it's a nice knife, so I'll grab it. The rocks, drugs, or whatever, I don't really give a shit about that. I'll leave that in the glove box, and then I'll close the door, and I will hold up a hand to the tow truck driver and say, "Thanks, man, appreciate it."
You see him kind of watching the rear view. He just kind of holds an arm out the side. He's like, all right, yeah, no problem. And once the door closes, you hear it beep as he locks it with the keys inside.
Sweet. And then I'll hand the vehicle registration over to Jeff, and then we'll start heading back to the SUV.
You've got vehicle registration for a one Winston Richards, 24 male, lives in the south side of Chicago.
That's my little gift to him. Winston Richards. Asshole in big truck. Okay.
So you guys head back to the SUV. By the time you get there, the guy who's working on it is just finishing up sealing it in. It's almost done. He sees you guys walk up, gives you a nod. He's like, hey, I'll be done in just a few minutes, and let this sit for like maybe 20, 30, and you're good to go.
No problem. Hey, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate getting out here so quick.
Hey, no problem. It's actually not that far away. I had a job just down the street.
Oh, perfect. When he's done, I know I said it was $250, and then he wanted like an extra 20. I'll give him $300.
When you pay him, he's like, damn, man, thanks for the tip. Appreciate it.
I always try and award good service. You took care of me. I appreciate it.
Hey, you need anything done like this again, you let me know. I'll be out. All right. Just call in, you'll be good.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. I'll ask for you. Do you have a card or something?
No, just ask for Johnny.
Just ask for Johnny. All right. We'll do, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. You all take care. Okay.
Have a good evening.
Yep. He'll start putting away his tools. You'll see him head to the little van down the street. All right, so it seems like our two Baali have not managed to find the Cult of Shalim. They have a little bit of insight into what's actually going on the southwest side of Chicago, but it's not quite what they had expected. While they may not have found the cult they're looking for, they did manage to run into the ministry and made some good deals and some headway with Marcel that might pay off in the future. We'll see you guys next episode.